My real name is Marlo Bates, but everybody call me Marlo Stanfield. A tough motherfucker ain't gonna act like he tough. A tough motherfucker know he tough. When you got power, everybody comes for it. I ain't gonna never say nothing bad about my people. That's why a lot of us die here today, running their mouth trying to be something they not.
They called your organization the wisest and most fierce.
We made it 24-hour shops. We wasn't selling grams and we selling $100 bags, we selling $70 bags, and we were selling $50 bags. We had locked down. It was 3 years later when they arrested me, and I had about 30 witnesses say they seen me kill these people.
Today, you are about to meet the real Marlo Stanfield, the man whose life the iconic character from HBO's hit series The Wire is based on. Marlo Bates Stanfield is one of Baltimore's most infamous, iconic gangsters. Together with his twin brother, Tamir Stanfield, Marlo ran one of the most profitable heroin operations in the history of Baltimore. He had spots jumping 24 hours a day all over the city, from the projects on the west side to the abandoned tenements on the south side, raking in millions and millions of dollars a week. True to the character in The Wire, the real Marlo was also known as a killer and was implicated in a number of homicides from the late 70s to the mid-1980s. One of the cops chasing Marlo during this period was Ed Burns, a Baltimore City homicide detective, and David Simon, a crime reporter for the Baltimore Sun who embedded with Baltimore PD during their quest to take down the Stanfield crew. And, unsurprisingly, the real Marlo Stanfield was never consulted with or compensated by HBO for the use of his life rights. In 1984, Marlo was convicted of a double homicide based on the corrupt testimony of a since-disgraced forensic expert and was given 2 life sentences. In 2022, after 37 years in prison, he was finally granted parole. This is his very first podcast appearance. For more in-depth detail about Marlo's life and the efforts by the city of Baltimore to take him down, you have to check out his new documentary, Marlo, available right now on Amazon Prime. I'll put a link to that below. What an honor it was sitting down with the man behind the most terrifying, fascinating character in television history. It's the real Marlo Stanfield, right here on The Connect with Johnny Mitchell.
Dude, it's great meeting you, man.
Same here, man. I heard a lot about you, Johnny.
I've heard a lot about you, Marlo. I've been knowing a lot about you for many years. Many fans of the show The Wire were mesmerized by your character. You're not Marlo Stanfield. You're Marlo Bates.
No, see, there's a catch to that. My real name is Marlo Bates, but everybody called me Marlo Stanfield behind the fact we all had the same mother, but I'm the only one who had a different father at the time. So as an age of 9, they've been calling me Marlo Stanfield ever since.
Right, okay.
Even the police.
Right. So you're basically Marlo Bates Stanfield is effectively how it is.
Yeah.
You're from West Baltimore?
Yeah.
Wow. What was coming up like?
Well, coming up like far as which way you talk about coming up, far as being a kid or coming up?
Yeah, home life.
Well, everything was all right. You know, it was times hard, like an average person have in the city, you know.
Mm.
My mother was a kind mother. She just ain't take no shit. But we had a pretty good life.
Did you have family in the game?
Cared. In the game?
Do you have family in the street?
Oh, that's where we all come from, the street.
But like uncles or anybody from that, you know, like Vietnam generation that came home and started to get on with, you know?
No.
Okay. It was really you and your brother.
Yeah.
And what is going to f people up so much to find out is that you really were the muscle end of the operation. See, in the show, Marlo is this big kingpin business mind. Omar, the gay dude, he's the stick-up guy. That's what you were created, your character was created around.
Let me
Besides the gay sex part.
Yeah.
They just threw that in there to just pour salt in the wound.
I'm going to tell you this. See, I heard in the movie, right, because when they played the movie, I wasn't in, see the movie all the way.
Right.
Because they come in, every time they play the movie, they'd send me out to jail.
Oh, every time they would show The Wire?
They show The Wire, they send me out to jail. So about fifth time they replayed that. I said, no, y'all ain't playing that motherfucker. Ain't nobody getting that movie in here. Fuck that shit. Because they used to put on DVD or something to get it in there. And every time they replayed, they sent my ass out to jail, and I got tired of that shit. So I told them, we was in the annex, and they was going to play it again. I said, no, they ain't playing that shit again in here. Fuck that shit. So they ain't play it.
They would ship you out or send you to the hole?
They would ship my ass out. No, send me out to prison.
Because it was like a security risk or whatever?
I don't know what they said it was. They just sent my ass out to jail. They don't give you no reason.
Wow. So you just came home?
Yeah, I just came home. Yeah, going on 4 years now.
How had Baltimore changed? I mean, it's changed so much, I'm sure. You were down, 36 or 37 years?
Well, 37. I count the drug treatment program, so that's 37 years.
Okay.
But I was released out of prison 36 and went into the drug treatment program within a year. After the 36 years, I went there for a year. Then I got released out of prison.
How is the city changed? How do you feel about it? Does it look better than when you were out? Do you feel positive about where Baltimore's headed?
I mean, in a way of me answering that, was it good? I mean, it always been hard trying to get ahead in life. You dig what I'm saying? From my point of view, the way I see things, it was hard for us. You dig what I'm saying? And it's still hard for us. I mean, the way they got stuff in life is designed to keep us where they want to keep us. You know what I mean? It's up to us to go ahead and get knowledge of what needed to be done the right way to get ahead in life. But people in high places ain't gonna let us go but so far anyway. Just like the housing market and all that, they got red tape on the areas that they put us in, and they don't want us outside that area.
Yeah.
So it can go a lot of ways with that.
Yeah, there's good and bad, right?
Yeah.
Gentrification's moved a lot of people out since your time.
Yeah, and then now they brought them back in. They went to inner city back.
Right.
So they moved all the black people out.
It's a beautiful city. Look at this fixed up house we're in. I want to live here.
Sure. A lot of people want to live here. But a lot of people can't live because they ain't got the means to live.
Right.
But they got to educate themselves. And even educating yourself, you still got to go through a lot of stuff when your nationality is different from others.
So you got on in the streets. When did you jump off the porch? How old were you?
Shit, about 13. 13.
What year was that?
I think it's about 1974.
Okay.
My birthday hadn't came yet.
Yeah, so what kind of
74.
hustling were you into?
Selling weed.
That was the motion for a little teenager back then?
Yeah. My mother allowed me to sell weed in the house and shit from out the house, but she wouldn't let me sell it hard. I told my buddy Bordy, I said, I can't sell that dope, man. My mother ain't had no motherfucking kind of people come to my house.
Right, but she let you sell weed, though.
Yeah, my mother was a thorough mother. Ain't take no shit either. Tell you,
it's pretty cool, though, letting you sell bud. I mean.
They tell you kill a motherfucker in a minute, they fuck with you.
That's what your mom used to tell you.
Yeah.
That's old school. Dude, what do you think about that? Considering what happened to you, what you got involved in, and the violence you were involved in, and then going away for murder, do you think that was good advice? Is that advice you would give a kid now?
See, my mother said that about me, and a lot of my family members. See, she ain't like nobody try to take advantage of us. She ain't go there. She taught us how to fight and all that shit, but I ain't like violence at first. I ain't like that shit, but I was the only one couldn't read. So I had a chip on my shoulder anyway from where everybody else can read and I couldn't read. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Crying and shit, you know what I mean? I ain't want no trouble.
Oh, did you get bullied because of that?
Yeah, by my family, not outside.
So
can you imagine what I would have did somebody outside play with me like that? That's why I never laughed, smiled, or none of this shit. I just started this shit when I came home. Laughing and smiling, joking and shit. I ain't do that.
I'm shocked by how friendly you are when I first met you.
That's what trick people.
So you weren't like that as a youth?
No.
That explains.
No, I got a good heart, man. I just hate bully motherfuckers and people try to fuck over people. I mean, that go on in the world a lot, you know what I mean? And I just don't like it.
So
then people tried to see the other side of me. But I try to control it now, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay, so you're selling weed. You can't read. You feel like an outsider, right?
Yeah.
You're self-conscious because you can't read. Understandable. When did you start to like get down, squabbling and fading and stuff like that?
Squabbling and fading. What you mean?
I'm sorry, from the West Coast. Fighting, fist fighting.
Oh, shit. After they locked my ass in the dark closet, my sister Darlene locked me in the dark closet and shit.
Oh, no.
For about 2 hours. I was scared of the dark then. She had me in that motherfucker, locked me in there for about 2 hours. Seemed like a lifetime in that motherfucker. I came out, I said, this shit, I ain't letting none of them motherfuckers beat me up and no more, make me do shit. So, talk about family members.
What about the streets? When did you start evolving from like a small-time pot dealer to somebody that was robbing?
Oh, I wasn't robbing nobody. I never was into that shit. I told you I hate bullies and bullies and stick-up men and all that shit, you know what I mean? Because I knew I was going to be a millionaire one day. And I ain't want no type of motherfucker around me like that because you can't trust them.
Right.
It's just a matter of time they're going to turn on your ass. It all depends on how they is and stuff like that, who they is.
Okay.
You know.
So your brother Tamir, how old is he?
Tamir is 62.
Okay. So
63.
okay. So when you guys first started hustling together, I believe, right? How old were you then?
Like I said, I was 13, so we started doing about 14, 15. We was selling shit, but we got out. We was about 22, 23. Like, yeah, I mean, really getting money.
Okay. So you guys were Cody's. You guys were partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to get beatings and shit for the motherfucking ass. People thought I was him. I used to get the ass whipped. I used to be tongue-tied. You know, the time I said, my mother would whip my ass for his ass.
Yeah, because you guys look exactly alike. Almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
One day, man, look, I was sick, right? And a woman came in there and said, Tamir, but she came there and said, that's him right there. He hit me in the head and shit with a rock. You know, I'm trying to say, no, it wasn't me. I said, So my mom said, no, it ain't him. It's his other bro. They look alike. And so Tamir climbed out the window and got on the roof, the big roof and shit, right? So I said, Norda, come on down, Norda. Come on down before you fall. I get the beating. I take the beating for you, Norda. Come on down. Because I ain't went on the fall. Because something happened to him, boy, that like killed me. Yeah, that was my motherfucking right-hand man.
Right.
You know, he's still my motherfucker. I love my brothers. I love all my brothers.
Yeah. Wow.
But, you know, man, don't come all the way up at doing everything. So, you know, always there together.
So
even in prison.
Okay, so where is he now? Is he with us?
Street? Yeah, he just left me about, before we came here, he left me.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to his story and what happened to him. I don't want to jump too far ahead. So how did you guys grow your little operation?
Well, I'm saying I'm still selling weed, and Tamir was selling drugs, and then we wasn't hitting big. So then my sister had a boyfriend named Peter, and he was a big drug dealer, and I was working for Peter. I went working for Peter because he was paying more than what I was making my own stuff with the weed and shit. So we went over there. He was selling heroin. So I'm talking about, how Carnival look? That's how 851 looked and Pole Homes look at the time in both areas. So you talking about all day long. So
Packed.
Now I'm talking about millions of dollars probably every 2-3 days. This is no exaggeration.
Yeah.
People will tell you this for, just ask people who was back in the day in the 80s.
Yeah.
That shit was like that every day. And they was $70 and $80 joints. And half is like $35 a bag. Just constantly all day long, lines around the block and that motherfucker in all the way up there and around the corner. Constantly.
So, but it was hard to be a heroin dealer because suppliers with good dope wouldn't just give it to anybody, right?
Didn't know anybody sell dope like that out there.
Exactly.
See, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people who been down with that shit for years and know, big time dope dealers know that a lot of dope was only come from 1 or 2 people. And they ain't know them big people was hitting all day connects.
Mhm.
They thinking they was going out of town getting it, but they really wasn't getting it up from Peter and somebody else.
This episode is sponsored by GLD. I love GLD. They've got all the best gold jewelry and jewelry products. I cannot recommend these guys enough. I've been wearing my GLD chain almost daily, and the quality is insane. It's got real gold, hand-set stones, solid weight, and the details look even better in person. It's comfortable, durable, waterproof, sweatproof, and it just elevates every outfit. I can wear a GLD chain with a black t-shirt and bam, now I got a fit. In fact, I'm gonna go use my own promo code to buy something before we head to Baltimore. Once you put this chain on, it does not come off. GLD makes those everyday pieces that actually level up your look. Clean chains, pendants, bracelets, watches, all built to be part of your daily rotation. This isn't cheap stuff. You can feel the difference the moment you hold it. They've got over 2 million happy customers, more than 50,000 five-star reviews, and it's been rocking on guys like Justin Bieber, A$AP Rocky, and plenty of top athletes. Every piece comes with a lifetime guarantee as well, so you know it's built to last. Work hard and change the game. For a limited time, check this out. New customers get 40% off with code Mitchell at GLD.com. That's 40% off with code Mitchell, Mitchell, at GLD.com. And after your order, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please let them know our show sent you. Go check them out at GLD.com. Go get yourself fitted.
So there were local guys, because most people think, okay, Kingpin from Baltimore is getting it from Italian mafia in New York, or maybe they got a Middle Eastern connection, right? The Nigerians, whoop-de-whoop. But there were actually local Baltimoreans that were just wholesale, that didn't have corners, didn't have strips, that would just get kilos and kilos and just silently supply guys like you.
See, some people was, like, I only knew about one motherfucker, two motherfuckers that was getting it. But I knew the guy, Peter was getting it to other guys. You know, whoever they was putting their money with him or whatever and all that, I ain't getting into that. I let them tell their own stories. Because I know who all, you know, coming up like that. That's why I would never say where he was getting his shit from.
Mm-hmm.
That's his shit. But when we was up there getting our own shit, when Peter passed away, years later, we was getting our own shit. We were getting our shit straight from Africa. Our shit was coming from Africa.
Wow.
And remind you, I already say on the wire, they were talking about shit about the port. Well, my father was the #1 crane operator down the port. So I'm gonna leave that alone. So now y'all can put what you want to put, or well, later down somewhere else, down our documentary. Now our documentary out on Prime and the OG Network, we can go ahead and hopefully get a miniseries, and then you'll see all that, how that port came about.
Okay. Or I could also ask it, was dope being moved through the ports like that, coming from overseas?
Well, yeah, some. I ain't gonna say other people's shit, but I know where our shit came from.
So that was a route. That was one of the routes.
It was.
Wow. That's fascinating. So
a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know about me, period. See, that's why they say we was one of the wiser organizations there was in Baltimore, most fierce. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, like, and they're gonna be short with this. They say we killed this and killed that and killed this and killed that. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We sold a lot of dope and all this, had keys of heroin and moving this. We had the city locked down and all this shit and running here. But we was never charged with drugs. We were charged with murders. But they used drugs to get that conviction, them convictions.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Like, they were selling drugs, they was big drug trends, and they were doing this and doing, they were moving this kind of money and all that. They could never prove it. They say when they come down on us and shit like that, we was tipped off by somebody in their organization.
Yeah, you never caught a dope case.
Well, yeah, I had a dope case when I was young. But I'm saying, for during that time we was running, I had caught a drug charge with Peter Dixon. You know, when I was young, when I first started with Peter Dixon. See, we was in a playground and shit there. It was in the high rise. This was Lexington Street, Lexington Terrace, and they had us on camera. But making sure I'll tell you this, I say, this motherfucking shit don't look right. Because, you know, I was the man with the gun. So I said, this shit don't look right. I see these motherfuckers come in, then I turn this way, and see these running around there. So before I grade say, Peter, these come running. You think was saying, so everybody was coming like running towards me with the way I was going, so I knew what the it was. So I dropped the gun and running with the crowd, right? So anyway, the whole time they had the cameras on us. They from in the high rise, They was taking pictures.
Right.
Not no video camera, all that shit. They was taking pictures, but I guess with the big lenses, something, whatever, right? And they was even had the word on a bag, on a dope bag.
Wow.
You know, they said, you say you wasn't selling dope? So I was like, how the fuck could we say we wasn't selling dope? They got hand in hand the word on the bag. I don't forget, we was selling dope, that the name of it was On.
On.
Yeah.
But you never caught a big indictment. That's not what you got your life sentence for. You're right. It was, they were chasing you for all these murders that were happening throughout the city. So, you know, when I say that I've heard that your character from The Wire was actually this guy, Omar, and probably some of the Marlo from The Wire too. These guys were dropping a lot of bodies. You know, I know you haven't seen the show, but it was a very murderous crew. Obviously, they hyped it up for television, right? But why, you know, they're chasing you for all these bodies. Why is that? If, you know, you're getting all this money, you know, how much of that, how much of that is fiction versus reality? Why did you have that reputation?
I'll tell you this. When you got power, everybody comes for it. Everybody want it. You know what I mean? But everybody can't hold it. So if you can't hold on to your shit, somebody gonna take it, somebody gonna kill you, and you know, they want it. Then you got the police who want you off the street. You got the niggas who want it. You got the motherfuckers. Excuse me for using that word niggas. I don't like using it when I'm talking to people your color or whatever.
I've never heard that word. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So
who are these?
Yeah, who are these people?
No, but actually, when you say that, what are you referring to?
Well, it's saying like now you may
the Jack Boys.
No, yeah, when I was saying the stick up boys and all that stuff, you know what I mean? When they come, you the ones and they come. But one time, some people tried that stuff and then they got caught up. You know what I mean? They ain't come back out there no motherfucker more. You know what I mean? And you know, I go look for a motherfucker. See, I don't need to send nobody out there to do my work and all that. I could, but I put my own work in. What kind of work? You know, people work cleaning up stores, people work at the car lots and all that other shit, but I go put in my work.
You're the cleaners. You're the laundromat.
That's what you said, the laundry man.
That's what I said. You didn't say that.
That's right. I'm straightened out, man. I straighten shit out.
But your brother was not known for that as much, I believe, right?
No, he businessman, but he'll do what he got to do if he got to do it. But before he can do it, I'm there.
So it sounds like a lot of this was just self-defense. It was you guys protecting this turf that you were working on.
That's a good way of putting it.
Oh,
yeah. So we would never type motherfucker take advantage of. We hate advantage takers and shit like that, or using dudes, playing on people and all that. We never did that. It always was a motherfucker that fuck with us or fuck with somebody we love or family members, stuff like that. But see, I want to say this for the record and get this straight because I want the world to know this shit. Now, we never killed nobody for nothing and shit like that. With somebody talking that bullshit, running their fucking mouth, talking about what they're going to do or who they're going to hurt and all this shit, and then, you know, get caught up. A tough motherfucker ain't going to act like he tough. A tough motherfucker know he tough. So he ain't got to go out there like he big and bad. Oh, you motherfucker, nigga, I will kill you. I can do that. I killed that. You know what I mean? They ain't going to do that. I said I ain't kill a motherfucker, so you know what I mean? You know what I mean. I know you say don't look at that camera, but you know what I mean. But motherfuckers go out there, they run their mouth and saying this shit that a lot of them niggas ain't going to do shit. But one thing about me, I'm good with these, awesome with that, dangerous with that, know what's out there. So I'm all the way around board, motherfucker, you know what I mean? So they know I can fight, sling at night, shoot them, and know what's out my mouth. So, you know what I mean? But a lot of people just go out there and just take advantage of people, man. I just don't like it, man. You know, won't you take something out from a motherfucker that we're going to give you trouble?
Yeah. And Baltimore was an extremely violent place back in that era, too.
I mean, like I got friends that would stick up men and all that shit, but I be saying that is because I don't want people, which is my people, I don't want to go out there sticking up and rob them because, man, your chance is real slim. Because your mother If somebody come in there, she gonna tell where you at. Your sisters and brothers probably tell where you at to get that money if somebody got on their head. And if their friends need to get that fucking shit and see it coming, they gonna tell where you at. They might be the one to even kill your motherfucking ass. So you got so many enemies coming from so many places, man, and the police want to kill your motherfucking ass because you're slinging that gun and they know you got a gun on and think they're gonna turn on you. So ain't no win. These days ain't no win because they got cameras every motherfucking
Of course. Of course.
So I'm just trying to save their life, like, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I had stick-up friends and some family members, you know what I mean, tried the shit. But one family member tried some shit one day. I said, listen, take that shit back up there and get that man this shit. We don't have that shit in our family. So he said, he gonna kill me. I said, I don't give a what you gonna do? You don't take that shit back? I'm gonna kill your ass.
You made him return it.
Yeah, he returned it. And I told the guy, I said, listen, man, I said, only one thing I asked you. He said, what's that? Ricky Duvall's name. So I said, he said, what's that? I said, man, make sure my cousin come back alive, bro. He said, okay, you got that. I said, okay. He said, I said, tricks is for kids, you know what I mean? Yeah, so he sent him back alive. But he could have killed him, though, easily. But that was somebody, him and Roy Keystone was real close. But he did that shit to Ricky Duvall, and that was a motherfucking man, treated him like a brother. See, that's what I'm saying, how cruddy that shit is.
Right. Well, it's such a paradox of Baltimore because everybody here is so friendly and everybody knows each other. And it seems like very neighborly and welcoming. It is. But at the same time, there was so much money in the streets. It's like people are getting killed and robbing people that live in the neighborhood next door, you know?
See, it's a lot of that come from being loyal too, man. You know, and the respect you have for another. Like I told my cousins and the family members and nephews and shit like that. Now, you go stealing from a motherfucker, somebody get your ass, don't look for me to revenge you on your ass, because you deserve what the you got, because we don't do that shit. So you taking somebody's shit, steal the man's shit, and the motherfucker catch you, if they want their shit back, and you talking rah-rah shit like you ain't gonna give it back, and they tear your ass up, you on your own. You go stick up a motherfucker, kidnap them, don't get their shit back if they don't accept what you got. See, I always try to make the wrong right. If a motherfucker ain't try to make that wrong right, then you on your own. You know what I mean? You crossed that code, you crossed them people and took them people's shit. So they got the right to do what they're gonna do, because I would do it to your ass too if you did it to me. So I don't play that 50 shit because you my family member and all that shit. You took that man's shit and give that man back his shit. If he don't, he gonna do what the fuck he gonna do that I would do to your ass. So that's it.
Okay, so you guys played fair. Like you guys tried to play by the codes, like the old school.
Oh, we don't try. We do.
You do?
Yeah, I do here today. Yeah, I'm big on that shit. Loyalty. Like I was telling my man, you know what I mean? Baltimore Carl. And I was telling him, right, I was going to tell you, Johnny, you know, you nephew Johnny now. So I was telling you about with that loyalty, when I was saying about when people break them codes, man, you're gonna get penalized for that shit.
So how long did it take you? You're like 13 when you start selling weed with your brother. How long did it take you to move up to like really started to control like heroin spots? Like where you're really making a lot of money?
We had whole communities. We ain't had just a corner. We had whole communities.
Okay, so you're from the west side. You're from the projects on the west side, right?
See, we was Baltimore, Stroll Street, Emma Lines, and all that stuff. That's in West Baltimore. But we moved to Westport. I think I was 9 years old. So Westport is in South Baltimore. Okay. But by me being my aunt's favorite nephews, and Murphy Homes and Lexington Terrace, so I was at Lexington Terrace, Murphy Homes, in Westport. So I'm back for that's probably where I missed out in school and shit, because I never did in school that motherfucker much and lost out on the phonics would make the word itself. So that's what probably was, because I ain't know shit. I couldn't read shit. But the word the, and I was like, what the that sound like it? You know?
Did you, when you were starting to make all this huge money and run the organization, did you eventually learn to read?
Oh, hell no. I didn't know how to read till I was in prison. I was 26 years old when I started how to read.
So you were like an illiterate millionaire.
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
I wasn't like I was.
You could count though.
I count like a motherfucker. But I had other people counting money too. I could count, but I had other people. My nephew and them used to be up all night long for days counting money. We ain't had no money machine.
And so, yeah.
Their hands used to be black counting money.
Because all the ink is coming
And
off.
we had bags of ones. We wouldn't even we get them ones to them. We wouldn't even take no ones and shit.
Yeah. 5s and 1s.
Yeah, they kept them off. I said ones, not 5s. You know.
Dynamite. You kept the 5s.
Yeah. See, I'm another thing too, man. When I say where was we at, I see if y'all paying attention. That's all, man. I ain't forget shit.
Okay.
You know when I say, man, where was I at? You know, I do that a lot.
Just to make sure that I'm listening?
Anybody listening. If they don't say where we left off, and I said, they pay me no attention. They ain't focused.
What was the key to your guys' success? Because there was a lot of people out there trying to sell drugs in the early 80s in Baltimore. How were you guys able to take over like all of these areas? Is it you had the bomb package or you guys were better at business? Like, what was it?
It's like this, man. To me, I think it's loyalty, man. Treat the motherfucker like you want a person to treat you, man. That will win a person over all the time. You wouldn't want nobody to treat you like shit, smack you around, don't give you no money and all that shit, just treat you bad. How would you want to work for a motherfucker? You making an enemy for yourself. Because the first chance he get, he gonna do your motherfucking ass in.
So your workers, you were good to people that were working for you.
Yeah, good to people that worked for us or wasn't working for us. We good to everybody.
Okay, so tell us where you were getting money out of. What parts of Baltimore?
Man, we had Murphy on Lexington Terrace. We had some at Park Heights. See, we got a big family. It's really big now. So it ain't like we just had the whole Baltimore. I can say we had shit in different parts of Baltimore. It ain't like we was the only ones. Other people had it too, but if they shit selling better than ours, I don't think so. But if we close shop or something, then they can come out with theirs and get to selling it because they're gonna sell because our shit ain't out. So if we got some bad shit, you know what I mean, they ain't happening too tough. But when we had some bad shit, you know, then people got good shit, they're gonna sell their shit and they're gonna make money. So it always, a play fast shit with us, we just shut down. So other people can make money, keep the heat off us too.
Right. So were you guys retail and wholesale? Like were you giving product out to other dealers?
Tamir.
Okay.
See, we had, like I said, we had family members and friends became family members. So Tamir was hitting people off real big. And a lot of people in Baltimore thinking they people was kingpins, and the whole time they was getting it from us. Here today, a lot of people don't know who these people is, but if Tamir don't like coming on shit like this. But he come on there and people know, they looking at this right now, they know who they are. They were saying they know we was hitting them off. And people, right-hand man might know, because, you know, somebody always with them in the house and shit like that. And they family members was there when we come in there and shit, drop shit off.
Right. But you guys,
had people drop.
He was real low profile. That's how, like, so a dealer might have not known he was moving product that came from your brother.
Yeah, the people who deal the shit, yeah, the big man knew, but the little, you know, people under them ain't know too many.
Do you think that's why you guys avoided catching like a big federal indictment?
It's the way we was moving. You know, it's the way we was moving.
Slick.
Yeah, it's the way we was moving.
Tell us about like close calls. Like, did you know you had heat on you? Like, how did you move your operation really fast?
Because we knew they was coming. We knew when they was coming. You always have somebody, man.
Did you have some cops?
I ain't gonna say I had no cops, but we had people and places that needed to be.
Downtown?
In places. You know. Some shit you just can't say. You dig what I'm saying?
I don't want names, but I just want
because they got
details.
You know, because they got family members that still in the same places and stuff like that. Just like I wouldn't set up here. That's why I say when people got their own connects and they had their own, they can tell their own stories. Because I'm not gonna sit up here and say that what they had, who they was working for, and all that kind of shit. Because they got family members still into that shit, still working. So you saying that, then they go and trace them people and take the whole goddamn organization down.
There's still people working to this day?
Yeah, you got shit don't stop, man. Just because one die or the family get old, you know, other people take over. It's just like big corporations. Quite sure if something happened to you, you're going to go on. Your son and grandson going to take that money. You ain't going to leave it to the state, is you?
This podcast dies with me. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Maybe you take over. Maybe Big Baltimore Carl will take over. I don't know.
No, I give it to your kids, man.
I gotta have some first.
I don't believe in taking over something ain't mine.
So, were you guys, obviously the cops, not the feds, but the local pigs, they were hitting spots all the time, right? They had the jump out boys. They had they were hitting dope spots. Did you guys get your place raided a lot?
Well, they kicked in doors,
Right.
down the line doors and shit like that, but nothing because they knew they was coming.
So they never got any big product. There was no big seizures or anything like that.
No, man. That's why they say one of the wise organizations it was in Baltimore, the most fierce. I know I'm being redundant saying it, but you know what I mean?
No, say that again, because not a lot of people are not familiar with that.
Yeah.
They called your organization the wisest and most fierce.
They say it was the wiser organization. It was the most wiser organization and the most fierce. See, like I said, they say all this drugs. They know it. You can go to the streets. Put it like this. I'm not trying to go up here and toot my horn. Oh, I was doing this. I did this. And we got this and all that. Because I'm broke as a motherfucker now. I ain't got shit. So I'm back in the same fucking spot I left when I came on. You dig what I'm saying? So that's why I tell the young kids, this shit ain't worth it. A lifetime of work gone down the drain.
Well, you got your freedom.
Yeah, I'm happy as a motherfucker now.
Yeah,
I'm happy as a motherfucker now. And I can read.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked it all the time. Learn how to read. I wouldn't have been on the other way.
Now, did you have any, The Wire portrays Omar as stalking Marlo and sticking up these guys and taking the stashes. Did that ever actually happen? Did you ever actually have any big stick-up kids that were a problem for you guys?
Man, ain't nobody fuck with me on no motherfucking street in Baltimore, man, or nowhere else, man. You know what I mean? That was a movie where he was saying, you did have stick-up men in Baltimore. Ain't no question about that. And you probably did have a dude named Omar or something like that. But I'm telling you about me. I never met no motherfucker Omar, never ran into Omar, Omar tried to rob me or was beefing with me. If I had a motherfucker had a beef with me, you'll know it. It'll be in the newspaper. They will. Not me. So all that shit, you know what I mean? I respect everybody. So I ain't gonna go over there and say the man was he was a whore, he wasn't sticking up. I don't know this. So how can I say something about a motherfucker? Me, I ain't gonna never say nothing bad about my people. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna never say nothing bad about it. I ain't gonna get over there and say he's a bitch, he's a whore, motherfucker, he's a fag. I don't know that, man. That's why people ought to keep their fucking mouth shut. That's why a lot of niggas die and shit here today. Running their mouth trying to be something they not, saying shit about people, motherfuckers get mad about it, sneak up on them or come at them face to face and do them in. When people all gotta do is mind their business and stop acting like women and shit and going gossip behind a motherfucker supposed to be your friend, then man, let him be your friend. Bring it to him, tell him to his face. Don't go behind his back. That's woman shit. I come home, man, I see so much of this shit. I like, man, come on, man, for real? And you say that's your man? Right there, man, I can't trust this. I mean, I ain't knowing up anyway. I don't live that life no more, but I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah, I can really see, I'm picturing you back in the day just from interacting with you, and I can see it.
See what?
You were a gangster, bro.
I'm just okay.
Yeah.
I just believe in what I believe in. That's in anything. I'm gonna stand up for what I believe in.
Looking back, what year do you think was the height of your organization?
The highest, getting money.
Getting money, running like clockwork. Getting money.
I see this. We made it 24-hour shops, selling hundreds, going down $100 bags. We were selling $100 bags. We wasn't selling grams and shit. We were selling $100 bags. We were selling $70 bags, and we were selling $50 bags. And it had a few 25s, so we opened up shops in different ways. We had shit locked down.
24 hours.
24-hour shop.
12-hour shifts?
Westport, 24 hours. Then we went to 725, 24-hour shops. And then people started running 24-hour shops. People that was our people.
Wow.
And so...
And this is all heroin?
I say I quit. Yeah, there was heroin and cocaine.
Oh, so you guys did get into coke?
Yeah, we had coke, pad of coke. Then my brother, he dealt with a lot of people all over. So anyway, they wanted to give us some rock. He said, no, they got this new thing they call rock. And he said, man, I said, listen, I don't want to hear about what the they got. That's what they got. This what will work for us. And this what we dealing with. We not that rock. He said, okay. That's my brother Tamir. I said, yeah, we don't know what the that is. And I'm glad we didn't, because it was people up.
So you never sold crack?
No, I never sold no crack.
Wow.
I'm glad I didn't. It destroyed a lot of people. Also, dope and coke destroyed a lot of too, but that rock.
It does seem like crack was worse. You know, I had an argument with Carl, our friend Baltimore Carl, about this. Like, I'm like, how does crack, which is just coke, you know, I have a problem with it because of the drug laws and the excuses that the federal government use around crack to incarcerate a lot of mostly black guys unfairly for a long, long time. But it does seem like it destroyed the community more than heroin.
Listen, man. See, there's a lot of people who don't know this political shit is real. It's real and it's strong.
The point is, you never sold crack, which is kind of amazing. It's fascinating because in 85 and 86, in every major city in America, everybody is selling crack. And you guys just stuck with powder cocaine and heroin. And that might have been part of the reason that you didn't catch a big indictment.
Oh, hell no. When it was 85, 86, we went to jail in 85. They issued 5 9mm out.
What is that?
9mm, the guns. Everybody killing each other with here today. They issued out 5 9mm in 1985. And they had testers. I had one, the Army had one, and 3 other had some fucking shit. But anyway, they trying to confiscate the 45s out the Army and bringing these motherfucking 9mm. And they locked me up with one, but they ain't get it off me. They got it out the car. Me and somebody else was in the car, and they searched the car. They were so happy to get that motherfucking 9mm to shoot 16 times. You dig what I'm saying? And one was in the chain and 15 in the clip. So I was telling them, like, whoa, man, don't put that over there. You dig what I'm saying? He ain't even know how to work the motherfucker. I had to tell him how to work the motherfucker, get that shit out the chain and shit like that. So then he was shaking like a motherfucker, and then they took my man out the car, put us in a fucking cruiser. He still had his gun on him. So I told turn around, so I got the gun off him, and they had a bag in the cruiser, like an orange juice carton, and something was in the brown paper bag, and put his gun in there and shit, and stood up. I said, the motherfucker was so excited to get that gun, they ain't even checked yet. Because he said, Uncle Shah, I still got the fucking gun on me.
This episode is sponsored by Mood. If you're a cannabis user and you're purchasing your product on the black market, odds are you're using cannabis that is infused with all sorts of harmful pesticides and toxins. That's just the reality. 80% of the market or something is dominated by cannabis that's grown in some illegal warehouse in Oklahoma by Chinese laborers. That's unfortunate. That's why you have to go with the best legal organic company in the country. That's Mood. Mood is an online destination for federally legal, hemp-derived cannabis grown on small, pesticide-free, family-run farms right here in the US. They make it easy and convenient. Everything from THC gummies and edibles to pre-rolls and flour shipped discreetly straight to your door. They've got products for whatever vibe you're chasing. That's why I love them. I love their gummies, right? They put you in whatever kind of mood you're trying to get to, whether you're winding down for sleep, getting focused, feeling happy and euphoric, or if you want to enhance your sexual intimacy, Mood has something for you. Lately, I've been enjoying their Sleepy Time Advanced Gummies. Smooth, great flavor, and perfect for that calm, relaxed feeling at the end of the day. Cannabis is still legal to buy at Mood, and they make it simple. Head to mood.com right now and get 20% off your first order with promo code CONNECT. That's mood.com, code CONNECT, CONNECT, for 20% off. Go find your perfect mood today.
Okay, so you got bagged with a gun. There was only 5 of them, and you had one of them.
Yeah, we had one. They got one off me. And look, when I went to court, you know, by the time I went to court, I had about this side, they charged me with 3 bodies and 9mm. Right. But they never charged me with it because I believe the motherfucking chief of police kept that motherfucker. That's how I bet they won it, because they only issued 5 at that time. Check the records, you'll see.
Okay, so this is perfect. So around this time, you know, the mid 80s, you're being chased by Baltimore homicide for these bodies, right? These murders. Tom Simon
David
Simon, I'm sorry. One of the co-creators of The Wire is one of the journalists, crime journalists, who is following around. He's reporting on these unsolved homicides, and you as
David Simon was running around as a news reporter, which he was, and Edward Burns was a homicide police.
Right, and Edward Burns was one of the guys chasing you,
and he was the director of The Wire.
Right, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So of course they're gonna know who the I am, but they act like, you know, it was a made up story, they said. Then they say it was a real person. Then first they said it was a real person. Then they say they made it for Tamir, Stanfield, and Marlo Bates. And then they turned around and said it was a fiction story and all this shit. So I can show you, you know, not now, but of course, I can show you from the beginning of the where they tell the story, how it come in, what they talking about, and why they talking about it, and let you see for yourself with the documentation. You go and see who they talking about.
Right. But this is what's so fascinating. This is history kind of coming together. So you're being chased by Baltimore PD for, tell us about these alleged homicides, and then tell us how you beat them.
Well, I went to court for several homicides, and Joseph Caparo who was a fake. They say he had credentials, expert, border expert, and all this shit.
Hang on. Do me a favor. Tell me about these bodies first. Tell me what were the circumstances of these murders?
Okay, folks got.
No, but these are clearly murders that you were charged with. Tell us about the murders you were charged with. You beat them, but they were murders. So people want to know the details.
Okay, you talking about the ones I was charged with?
Yeah, and then the ones you beat and how you beat them.
Well, the ones I was charged with, you know what I mean? Some they put on a stat, you know. Some they put on non-process. Non-process mean no paperwork at the time. So that's the way you don't talk about the motherfucking murders, because they still open for real. You dig what I'm saying? And the one they put on the step is like for a year, and then that's up. You know, I had several murders they put on my ass and got out on bail and all that shit and recharged for again and again. They say you don't supposed to be like that because it's double jeopardy. But it's on the books they did it to me. You dig what I'm saying? That's what they did. And they still trying to do the shit, you know what I mean, till I got out.
Okay, so did you take these to trial? Did you beat these in trial?
Yeah, some I beat in trial, some I beat, you know what I mean? Yeah, I had to beat them in trial, couldn't beat them no motherfucker else.
Okay, so I didn't know if they had dropped the charges, you know, in the process for lack of evidence or whatever.
They can put a non-process, that's me, no that much paperwork, not enough proof at the time.
Right.
Then you got the stat for a year. They can put on there for a year and bring it back up. You dig what I'm saying? And some murders, they act like they still pending it, I guess. See, one thing about the police and the state's attorney and all of them, they can put on shit, anything they want to put on. Say, for instance, you got, if you lie on the stand, they're going to send your motherfucking ass to jail. But if you catch the witness lying on the stand on you, won't nothing happen to them, because it's up to the state to charge them if they want to charge whoever they want to charge with shit. Right. So they can put together whatever they want to put on the motherfuckers.
What were some of the tactics they were trying to use to get you? Did they have witnesses that lied on the stand?
Oh, yeah, they had witnesses. They had, like my brother Cat Eye. They gave him, they say, we know you ain't killed these two people, but if you say your brother Marlo, then we let you home right now, today. But he said Marlo was not at that party, you know, but he did 40 years in there for that shit, and he ain't even do that shit. And they had a motherfucker saying, the police had a motherfucker, they had witness saying another motherfucker killed him, pulled the mugshot and everything, but they ain't, you know, they ain't want them. They want my brother.
So they were trying
to say it was me.
So the cops were effectively lying and almost fabricating evidence by trying to force people to say it was you.
Yeah.
Even when they maybe didn't want to, or were like, no, he wasn't there, he didn't do it, whatever.
Yeah, judges and everybody in on that shit, man. Conspired against me.
You were really known downtown at this point. How many?
Yeah, judges and everybody.
Did you get a sense of how many homicides you were implicated in? Total, the ones they thought were you, ones you beat.
Watch the documentary and they tell you all that shit. Even the police and them said it. Even the state's attorney, the commissioner, all of them, man. Oh, watch it. You'll see.
So you're on their radar, and that's an understatement.
It was.
Wow. Okay, so things are rocking. Like, you guys are making millions of dollars. You're controlling half of Baltimore. You got the bomb package. Tamira is handling the business side. You're beating these murder charges they're trying to put on you. But then the 2 bodies. Tell us about the murders that they pinned on you, that the state and the city framed you with, essentially, that ended up putting you away.
Well, before I get to the top of the ones that put me away on, back in 81, 2 people got killed in a party, right? One supposed to been from New York and one supposed to been Baltimore, supposed to been cousins or something. So the story is, dudes came down, went in there and killed the 2 dudes, right? But then they try to say Cat Eye, know the person who came in there and did the killing. So they charged.
Tell us who Cat Eye is.
Cat Eye is my brother Tony Stanfield.
Okay.
So they said that Cat Eye was in there and he did the killing. But the police know Cat Eye ain't do it, or we know you ain't do it. We know your brother Marlo did it, say he did it, and we'll let you go. So Cat Eye said my brother Marlo wasn't at that party, right? And so he did 40 years in that. And they had, for something he didn't do, and then they had the dude, Joseph Parole, who act like he was a motherfucker, ballistic man, who analyzed the bullets and all that shit and helped convict my brother. You dig me, on that phony shit. And he wasn't even had license or none of that shit to be who he said he was. He forged the papers on all that shit. And they found out he forged that shit. And what he did, it was committed suicide once they found out he was a fraud. He sent 5,000 to prison and they let him get his pension before he killed himself.
So this fraudulent forensics expert,
right,
put away thousands of innocent dudes with sketchy evidence, and your brother was one of them. And he just came home. Cat Eye just came home a couple of years ago.
After doing 40 years.
After 40 years for 2 bodies that he didn't commit.
Right.
So he's already gone by the time. He's already locked up. By the way, think about that loyalty.
Yeah.
I didn't do them, but I'm not going to say you did it.
Right.
It's incredible. So he was already arrested by the time that you got arrested for.
Yeah, I think in my mind it was 3 years later when they arrested me, and I had about 30 motherfucking witnesses say they seen me kill these people. It wasn't a Cat Eye, they seen me kill them, right? But I had a cab driver who was a witness to say I was in his cab, and the woman at the filling station said came to the filling station with this cab driver, and I was arguing about because he couldn't cash a $100 bill. And I had a VHS cassette player when they first came out. So, I say he wanted me to leave that in the cab, but leave my girl in the cab while I goes up in 725 building to get some change, you know what I mean? And so I say, what the fuck I look like leave my woman in the car with you? I don't know who the fuck you is, just a cab driver. So I say, you the one should have motherfucking change, you're a cab driver. So we arguing and shit in the cab. So I say, well, look, I leave this motherfucking machine here. Me and my girl going up there and we be back down. So we came back down and went to the filling station and got change, a grape soda, and a butterscotch crimpet and some fucking carton of Cools or something. You dig what I'm saying? And then the woman came in the court, said, yeah, it was me. I was arguing with the cab driver, $100, because he couldn't cash $100. The cab driver was saying that motherfucker couldn't cash a motherfucking $100, and he a cab driver. He should have all this shit, right? So that way I got off from beating that because they believe the cab driver and the woman at the filling station didn't believe these so-called Dauphine motherfuckers, lied on me. So after that, get to the point, the ones that Cat Eye, he was locked up with that, he was still locked up. And then when they came and arrested me for these motherfucking charges, it was murder for a dude that was down 725. This where the dude got killed, that 725 in front of 725 building, got shot in the head and shit like that. They said a dude jumped up on the table with a black hoodie on and shot him in the head and stuff like that. And then they said they had witness and everything. Well, anyway, they shot him in the head and all this shit. So then they say, I turned around and then shot the witness in the feet and told him get the fuck away from here. So I'm saying if I was the motherfucker killer, they say I am. So why I'm gonna kill this shoot this whore ass nigga in the foot and shit, let him live.
Leave a witness, right?
Yeah. Anyway, so Joseph Caparo, for the record, this motherfucker was on all of my motherfucking murders.
Joe Caparo is who?
Joseph Caparo was a forensic man. Right. He was on all my cases.
Right. Trying to get you.
Trying to get me back in the 80s.
Right.
All the way in the 80s, like early 80s on homicides and all this shit. This was on every piece of paper it is that I got.
And how were they originally arresting you for these murders? Is it just witnesses?
Well,
with this one, how did they arrest you?
They had line witness. They had people that came in there and say, I wasn't the motherfucker one that killed it. They know the people who killed him and all that. And they got witness saying who killed him and all that. I got a police report saying who. She said she seen the dude who killed him. She know him, the mother, the sister, where he lived at. He killed him. Looked at her in the face and ran past him with the gun in the hand and all this shit. Then guess what the homicide police say? Well, the problem with that is this on transcript or the police report. Well, the problem with that is we already looking for a suspect. We already have a suspect. And the suspect was me. They had me in custody, so they ain't want the other who she say she seen and all this shit. So the girl who was on the mountain and shit say she seen me kill a motherfucking woman then 100 years old with bifocals, this motherfucker big, thick, the size of Coca-Cola bottle back in the day. She say she seen me 2 football fields away with a goddamn gun in my hand.
And that was their only witness?
Yeah, they lied. The bitch who was up on the porch say, you know what I mean? It definitely wasn't nobody. She seen the living around there. It was a strange dude. She seen him put the hoodie on his head.
Did they have any other evidence?
No.
Wow. Did you think?
And that wasn't even me. I had alibi and all that shit. They ain't want to hear that shit.
Where were you at the time that the murder actually happened?
Well, I was at this girl named Debbie's house. I was fucking with this girl Debbie at the time. And
did you have her as a witness?
I had a wife.
For you? But did you use Debbie as like an alibi?
Yeah, I ain't want to use her. You know why? I don't know it's going to sound crazy as shit. Because I had a wife at the time, and I ain't supposed to be out that motherfucker.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah, but man, I ain't want to hurt her no more. I say that shit. But it wouldn't have mattered anyway. It was already fixed for us.
So did you think you had action at trial? Like, did your lawyers think you were going to beat it?
Well, I knew I was going to fucking prison. I say, man, because the state's attorney, let me get to this first.
Okay.
So after they charged me with that murder, right? So I lost that murder. And then the murder took a conspiracy to commit murder with me and the 5 other so-called co-defendants for a murder that supposed to have been a witness to a dude that got killed down there that my brother Tamir supposed to been charged with killing the dude. So the witness supposedly got killed down there, you know what I mean? And the witness got killed, and this lying rat motherfucker said it was, I was there when I told him, I called him and say, yeah, I was there when the motherfucker got killed and all this shit. So they put me on the scene. Now check this out. I was doing 4 years from buying some bullets, right? So I'm doing 4 years up Lordsburg buying some bullets. My brother and them got a conspiracy to commit murder, right? My brother, Tamir, not Cat-Eye Stanfield, Tamir Stanfield, and 3 other co-defendants, right? So, and they supposed to been charged of setting up, killing their own cousin, supposed to been a witness. Yeah, this shit is crazy, man.
Wow.
So what happened was, we went to court and shit. They was going there, hearings and everything, right? Guess what they do to me? They took me out on a brought me to Baltimore. I said, what the f I'm doing down here? You know what I mean? So they put me in court, and they say, who are you? I said, I'm Marlo Bates, right? So he said, Tamir Stanford. I said, no, I'm not Marlo Bates. He said, what you saying, I'm a liar? So I say, no, sir, Your Honor. He said, didn't you just leave my courtroom of $250,000 bail? So I say, no, sir, Your Honor. He said, what you saying, I'm lying? I say, I ain't saying you lying, Your Honor. You got the wrong one. You talking about my brother Tamir and not me. He the one that got on bail. So stenographer, right? Say, what it is, 2 of y'all? So they looked at like, what the f? You don't probably ask no question like that. So they took me out. Judge said, take him out. Like, everybody looking at each other, like, take him out. Took me to the bullpen, the man said, man, you better get a lawyer. I say, get a lawyer? He said, yeah, you better get a lawyer. They took me out. Look at this shit, chill bump to my motherfucking arm. They took me out in the motherfucking bullpen. Right, I sat down there in a bullpen all day, and that's when he came back and said, man, you better get a lawyer. And they put me on a charge with my brother and them. They had hearings and every motherfucking thing. They've been in court and all this. They put me right in trial with them. Wow. I had to get the lawyer, Paul Weiss, right? Wow. Got him in that motherfucker. He represent me and shit like that. They charged me in open court, arranged me and all that shit in the open court. Mm-hmm. They ain't fingerprint me and none of that shit. They used old fingerprints and shit and got all this shit. I got all that proof. And so then they sent me to motherfucker prison. So me and my brother Tamir, we sitting in there. That's how we got the double life in 20 years. I got double life in 20 years. He got double life in 45.
Okay, so you were sentenced, ultimately, through all of this, you're sentenced on the murder and the conspiracy to commit murder with your brother.
Yeah.
It was a state conspiracy case for a witness who got killed.
Yeah.
That's so crazy, by the way. Like,
but check this out.
Just you guys being identical twins got you roped into that.
I'm gonna tell you how I got that. Look, I was locked up, right? So I was locked up from buying some bullets at the farm range, shooting the Uzi at the farm range. Take the Uzi apart, put it together like that back in that time. So, you know.
So you were in the feds for that?
Yeah, I was in the farm range shooting. So they said, you know, you buy my, so we had my call home, and the motherfucker FBI answered my phone. I called my wife. So the FBI answered my phone. So I didn't know it was the FBI for a white motherfucker answered my phone. What the fuck? So I hung up. I said, in my mind, dialed the wrong motherfucking number. So I dialed again. Wasn't no cell phones and all that shit during the time. So I was on Afton Press Man by the 7-Eleven. So then I called again, a white man's phone. So I say, man, which is my rap, but I say, man, dial my motherfucking number, man. And so he dialed the number. He said, a white man's phone, what he doing there? I thought, what the you think he doing there? What the fuck? Hung up the phone, right? So I called back, and homicide, the feds, took and said, Marlo, you just stepped into the big boy league, because my wife at the time, she said, Marlo, the FBI. He said, you just stepped into the big boy league. I hung that motherfucker up and called Stein. So when I called Stein, I said, what the FBI looking for me? They was just at my house and all this shit, find out. So, I had to call him back in 2 hours, right? So he said, so I asked him what it was. So I said, Stein, so what it was? He said, man, did you go to the gun range? So I said, yeah. He said, you buy some bullets? I said, yeah. He said, you signed the receipts? I said, yeah, get to the motherfucking point, man. What the fuck going on? So he said, man, that's what they want you for. I said, from buying some motherfucking bullets? Man, here today, man, I felt like I belonged on the world's most dumbest motherfucking criminals, you know what I mean? Because if I knew that, I wouldn't have been buying no motherfucking bullets and signing a motherfucking receipt for the bullets.
Right.
That's how I got the 4 years, and I was holding on ever since then.
So you were, right, you didn't see daylight since then.
They hit me with all these
and you got rearrested. It's a nightmare. So your sentence, your state sentence, which I think would shock a lot of people, they would think you were doing life in the feds for this huge, grand drug murder conspiracy. You actually go to the state. You got a life sentence plus 20?
Yeah, double life plus 20.
Double life plus 20.
See, this side of shit was all fucked up. See, the feds know that we ain't do this shit. They knew this shit was all made up shit.
Right.
Because if it was so, feds would have been came on our ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they had something. They were just made up shit.
Can I ask you this? Yeah. You guys are these ballers. You got tons of money. Where are your $1,000 an hour lawyers? What are your lawyers doing?
Man, I'm going to tell you something about that.
God damn it. I hate bad lawyers.
No. They say they was working for the organization for years. They was getting paid. We was paying them off. Every case we get, the organization they represent us, and they could show that they was getting that motherfucking money, $10,000 every week or whatever the case may be, how many thousands a week, they was getting this shit. These lawyers that they say was on the payroll. So
wait. Lawyers are on a payroll usually. So you had lawyers. You mean you were paying the prosecutors?
No, our lawyers that was representing us. They were saying they was representing us for years, and they was gonna hit them with tax evasions and all this shit and lock their ass up. So they came to the bullpen, literally crying, and say, "What's wrong?" So he said, "Man, we can't represent y'all no more." Crying, all of them. Say, man, we represent you again, they're gonna lock our ass up. They ain't say lock our ass up, they said they're gonna lock us up, man. They're gonna lock us up. So I said, yeah. So I looked at Tamir, I said, man, I told you, we done.
Wow.
We done. They got all this already planned out. I said, man, go ahead. You ain't gotta represent us no more. I told Tamir that. So he said, go ahead, man. Told the lawyers, go ahead. We ain't take no lawyers down or none of that shit.
Right.
We go ahead and say, man, go ahead, y'all, go ahead. So when they were talking about John Gotti, respectfully, John Gotti, I respect everybody. They say his lawyer couldn't represent him no more and all that. That's how serious he was. Well, man, they did that shit to us first in the 80s. Right. Our lawyers, about 3-4 lawyers couldn't represent them more, was crying in the bullpen, and the old post office came back in and said, we can't represent them more. They said, we represent y'all, man, they're gonna lock our ass up too. I said, man, go ahead. You ain't got to represent us. We going down any motherfucking way. They taking us down. It's already set. And so Tamir said, yeah. So I said, Tamir, then when I went to court, the motherfucker next day, these motherfuckers put shit in the game. I said, yeah, I'm going down. This fucking went on Ticknet. He's state's attorney at the time. He was so motherfucking good, man, in there performing. He had me convinced I killed the motherfucker and I ain't even kill him. That's how good he was. I say, man, when the both went to Tamir, was wrong. I say, man, we going to prison. He say, why you say that? I say, man, Wink and Ticknet was so good, man. He convinced me I did the murder and I ain't even do the motherfucker. So I know what the jury gonna think. They found my ass guilty.
Off of essentially no evidence.
Right.
We have one old lady.
He shot him like this and all this shit.
And the forensics guy?
Yeah.
He was there with...
He was on that case. Yeah, he was outside with him on the case. He said that shit too, about the bullets and all that bullshit. Yeah.
Was it shocking to be in the courtroom to just hear lies after lies after lies?
Yeah, they had this nigga in there named Kevin Baker that came in there and said, you Marlo Bates, I ain't scared of you. In the courtroom, I had about 6 polices around me, you know what I mean, in the courtroom and shit. And this bitch way on the other side of the courtroom. And I said, I'm going to kill him and his whole family. I say, man, what the fuck is it? Was telepathic communication or something? All these motherfuckers, nobody hear me say that. And here go the judge, I believe you said it. So I looked at the motherfucking police on there. I said, man, you hear this shit? Did you hear me say anything? They said, put their head down. I was like, goddamn right, I ain't say nothing, bitch. You whore. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So he was there lying.
The
he was a witness that they brought in.
Yeah, with bulletproof headwear and shit all on them and shit.
Wow.
And all this
so they made this a spectacle.
They performed.
This is like a kangaroo court, yeah. It's kind of like what they did with Wrongful Edmonds, familiar with him out of D.C.
Yeah, I don't know him. There's a lot of people. I heard
But they brought in like a military helicopter to bring him to court. And, you know, they treated him like Osama bin Laden.
I'm going to tell you something. See, Al case, right? They did a lot of shit in Al case, then they started doing to other people. And see, like when I was down, where was that? Down Supermax. They took it from Supermax and took it up North Branch. And what happened is, when they took it to North Branch, they had a motherfucking helicopter follow my bus all the way up North Branch, cutting off the highways and all this shit. Police cars stuck in the highways and all this shit, thinking the motherfuckers were gonna come and get me. You know, just for escape and all this shit.
Right.
All the way up to Cumberland and shit. Like, it's all in the newspaper. You go look back and see it in 86, 87, something like Rudy can tell you what year we went up there.
You were, as the Jamaicans say, you were a bad man. You were a bad man.
Nah.
Okay, so...
I'm a good motherfucker.
No, I like you a lot.
No, I'm saying I've been a good motherfucker. They see the other side. When they see the other side,
yeah,
they see a motherfucking side they never wanted to see.
You would have beat those charges today. Now, you would have been convicted for other murders because they probably would have got you on camera, but juries don't go for that bullshit anymore. They want to see evidence because we know how much the government lies now. Like, normal people know that they're being by the man always. But this was a different time. A lot more racism, a lot more, well, we just believe the cops wouldn't lie like this.
Yeah, that's what
my parents would say back in the day.
Check this out.
And now they're all like, yeah, they're scumbags end to end.
Check this out. All the shit I was telling you about, see, I don't sit up here lying and shit. We don't do no motherfucking lying. I hate a lying motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because they're always going to get caught telling a lie. Because once you know the truth, you always know the truth. You're going to keep repeating the truth. But once you lie, you got to remember that lie. And a lot of motherfuckers ain't going to remember a lie. They just running and saying out their mouth. Now, all this shit I say I got on them, I got paperwork, police reports, Marlo Stanfield, a.k.a. Marlo Bates. Tamir Stanfield, a.k.a. Marlo Bates. They think we was one person. His shit and my shit. You go down the archives and pull the file, you'll see they thought we were the same person. They scratched out Tamir, Marlo Stanfield, and put Marlo Bates. They scratched out Stanfield and put Bates. I got the date they did it and all that shit. So that goes to show you, they thought I was him and we was one. That's why they put me in that open court with them, with that conspiracy shit. And they brought me down here. They issued a warrant for Tamir Stanfield and Marlo Bates. See? Because it's on this paper, Tamir Stanfield, a.k.a. Marlo Bates. But they pushed a warrant for Tamir Stanfield and Marlo Bates. So they brought us down there. He was already down there.
Yeah.
And they brought me down there, put me right in trial with him. I got all that black and white. But I done did 37 motherfucking years now.
And your brother did how? Your brother did how much?
Kenai did 40, Tamir did 38.
Wow. So you guys now both have double life sentences. You're cooked. Did you think you were gonna spend the rest of your life in there?
See, God, I believe, my calling, I think my calling in life is to see other people happy. I always felt that ever since I was little. I like seeing other people happy. I don't like seeing people sad, right? But them motherfuckers who up, I don't give a I don't feel sorry for them. I just hate them bully. So, so my calling is saying other people happy. And I knew I was going to get back out, but I didn't know when. But I had a feeling when it came over that I'm going to go home. Because I say God wanted me to do all the things he wanted me to do, helping people. Because going to jail, they kept moving me different jails and shit, put me on administrative and all that. And then one time I asked God, when my mother was sick, I asked God, let my mother live and shit, I ain't going to do no more of this shit. I'm going to do everything you want me to do. And God say, F you, I ain't doing shit. I want you to feel what everybody else feel. So he let my mother die, and that shit me up. I was fucked up for a while, and I cursed God and everything, right? And then it hit me one day. I said, I know what it is, because one day I said, take me, won't you take me? Stop taking away all of my family members. My mother died, my sister died, my brother died, friends was dying like a motherfucker, right? So I said, I know that, just take me, man. Don't take nobody else, take me. So God said, nah, I want you to feel what everybody else feeling. So what it is, yeah.
That's deep.
And I felt that, so, so I say, fuck it, I'm gonna do what you want me to do and all that stuff. And, I've been helping people, caring for people, but he wanted me to have that mindset. You dig what I mean? Not to be so motherfucking mean and hurt just like that, you know what I mean? He want this. Because God wanted me to, he would have been had me killed, die off and all this shit, man, all this shit going on in life. You dig what I'm saying? But he ain't let me read and everything because he was holding this for me. He wanted me to do his work, to go out here and help our people, man, help better ourselves and become as one, man, and strong and don't be used like it's because we being used. And they playing the race card with each other and all this shit, but it's the people in high places, man. You got to just get it together. Everybody got to come together, man, and stop hating each other for shit you being used. How many people here like being used? You like being used?
I guess not.
I don't think nobody. You like being used? Nobody like being used. So when the fuck we gonna stop being used? We falling into their hand. We doing the shit they want us to do.
But how did you? So that's really deep. That you suffering through the death of your family members, you got to feel what it was like, of the family members that maybe people that you hurt back in the day, right? How did you change in prison? Like, what did you do? Obviously, there is parole in the state of Maryland. So even if you have a life sentence, you go before the parole board.
I went in front of them motherfuckers. They didn't give me shit. They wasn't gonna let me go.
How many times did you go to the board before?
Well, they only let me go out that motherfucker about 2-3 times. In the 37 years I was in there.
Right. But do you feel
I had an excellent record. I ain't had an infraction, a ticket, in about 30-some years.
So you had a pretty good prison record overall. What were you doing in there?
I stopped people from getting killed, stopped people from getting raped. I stopped gang wars. I stopped people from, anything, getting bullied and shit. I got people out of gangs. I got people, leave people alone and shit. Rides and shit. Come on, man, ain't work. We got to get the fuck out of here. Our people, you start riding and shit, we ain't gonna get no visits. We ain't gonna see our people and all this shit. So, it's the way you can do it. Can't know anybody do that.
Right.
You got to be well loved and respected, man. And I give respect.
Did you do any time with your brother?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both of them. Like my brother Cat, I'll tell you, he don't like me and that motherfucking cell together.
You guys were celled up together too?
No, me and Cat, first was me and Tamir cell buddies. We cell buddies for years and shit. That motherfucker, he our little brother. He under me and Cat. He think he runs shit. That's Tamir on the street, so And he think he runs shit like he the big brother, but he under us. I listen to him though. That's my motherfucking heart though. And Cat, I got in there, so me and Tamir get to arguing and shit. So I used to drink. I was an alcoholic on the street and in a prison. So
I can see that.
yeah, so I used to drink. Like, I don't drink no more. I used to drink since '95. So we was on Southboy. So Tamir used to make homemade wine for me and shit, right? So I drink his shit. So he said, "Man, you smell like goddamn wine and shit." So I say, "What?" He said, "Yeah, man, it's coming out your motherfucking pores." I say, "Man, why are you talking to me like that?" He say, "Man, goddamn, cause you just shit stinking, man." So I say, "Man, I just got out the shower. What the f you talking to me like that for?" Right? So I said, "You what, my motherfucking brother? I'll f you up. You ain't little no motherfucking more, right?" And so he said, "God damn," he jumped off the bunk bed. I was up on the, I'd be on the bottom. He jumped off the top, right? So, you know, I ain't gonna fight my brother, hurt my brother. So he jumped off the top. I said, "I'm tired of your shitting all over." And bang, bang, the Fisher radio he brought me, one of the big radios. I love that radio too. So ain't anybody in the jail had one of them motherfuckers. So he brought me that big Fisher radio, and she just brought the motherfucker about 3 days ago. Only had it for about 3 days. He hit that motherfucker, boom, buttons went every motherfucker. Well, I said, it was myself. I said, "God, that's a hard-hitting motherfucker," right? To myself, right? So I said, "God damn, no, why the fuck you do that to my radio, man? You just brought me that goddamn radio." He said, "I'm sorry, no, I'll buy you another one." I said, "Damn, T." And he hugged me and shit. I said, "Man, I love you, man." But I was saying, this motherfucker, I took a shower and everything. I'm drinking the motherfucking wine. He said he smelled it out my pores and shit. He said he ain't making it no motherfucking more because I smelled the wine coming out my pores and shit.
So, and you got sober after that?
Hmm?
Did you get sober after that?
Hell no, that motherfucker made me another part of that shit.
So, but
yeah, I just what happened was, in the cell is top and bottom bunk, right? So I'm sleeping this way, and he's sleeping the same way. So when I'm breathing against the wall, the shit, you know, the wine and shit come to hit the wall and going up. So he's like, "What the f?" So that's what it was. So I stepped down the other way and shit like that, right? And so then they split our ass up.
But you were, because most guys with double life sentences, they go in there assuming they're never going to get out. You know, a lot of times they don't cool off until much later, and they get into a lot of shit, right? But you had faith that you were gonna see the parole board. Like, do you feel lucky? Because most states, much less the feds, you go in there with 2 life sentences, you're leaving in a bag. So do you feel, even though, like, how do you feel? You really were a criminal, all due respect, a violent criminal, part of a violent drug trafficking organization. You go down for a murder you didn't do. Double life sentence, but you got out.
To commit murder.
That's right. But you got out. So, I mean, there's a mix of emotions you must be feeling. Like, overall, do you feel like you won?
No, it's like it's with me. I don't look at it like that. You dig what I'm saying? I look at it like it's high beams. You know, it's like people call it God or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? I was only doing what I was guided to do. You dig what I'm saying? I wasn't put here to be seeing all the things I've seen in life, coming up being treated the way I was as a kid and all this shit, couldn't read and everything, and everybody else could read. So I felt though I was special in the way that God wanted me to be, or the high power, who Allah, whoever the case may be. You know, being made me the way he made me. You dig what I'm saying? I always got a good heart, always had a good heart, still got a good heart. And I was chosen to do this. Like I said, if he wanted me gone, he could have been took me away. He wanted me here to do his work, and that is to help other people. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep being me, and I don't feel sorry or regret being anybody else. You know, I'm not that person. I'm me. I'm gonna be me. If I wasn't doing the things I did to be where I'm at here today, I wouldn't be me. So I wouldn't change anything. How could I change it? I ain't know how I being with changing nothing. I know what I didn't like doing anymore, so I chose not to do, because I have the know-hows now, what to do and what not to do. I'm conscious of what I do and what not to do. So I'm not going to sit up here and do anything wrong. I was thinking I was defending myself and defending what belongs to me. And you didn't saying that's the people who belongs to me on the street now, and I'm gonna be there for them, and I'm gonna defend them, who I care about, who I think. I love all people, but I love my people more because they need more help than the average person.
Do you feel some kind of way that your likeness, you know, who you are, your story was used to create one of the most iconic television shows of all time, and you weren't asked for permission, you weren't paid for it? Like, I don't know, how do you feel? But also, you're kind of a legend in this city, and your name is a legend, and, you know, for a generation like mine that grew up on that show. Marlo Like that's a brand. You have a brand. So how do you feel about all that?
See,
the show and your legacy.
Like me, I don't feel no kind of way or nothing like that. I respect everybody for feeling the way they do, and some people ain't gonna feel the way that I do, the way a lot of people feel. You got some people might say, fuck that nigga, he done killed all them people and all this shit. But a lot of people don't know me. They don't know what I did. They going about what they hear. But once they get to meet me, they'll see it. I'm not the person who they portrayed me to be. But when I was coming up living that life, I did. I ain't used to laugh for none of that shit. I just started all this shit when I came home, when I learned how to read and got this saying people talking to people and shit like that, talking to bullies and telling them, man, ain't the way to be, ain't the way to carry it. Change your life before somebody kill your ass. You know what I mean? Stop taking advantage. You don't want nobody to take advantage of you. So just let that shit be, man. You know what I mean? You putting people down, that shit gonna come on you. The energy, you kicking out bad energy gonna come back on you, man.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So I just tell them a lot of people just don't know. Till you explain it to them and have a talk to them is the way you talk to people, man.
Yeah.
And the way you treat people. I go by that 100%. You know, I die and go to hell with it for that. You know what I mean? I love all people, man. And I just want them to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And that's to live well, man.
So what are the next steps? You got a whole all these years ahead of you. What have you been doing with yourself?
Well, like I said, I always been writing books, songs, players, commercial greeting cards and all that. I got all that stuff. So me, Rudy, Frazier, and all that going to bring all that to life. But once we start, you know, doing this, get the word out to people to try to save these lives and everything, I want a Marlo Stanfield Youth Initiative program to guide the children in the right way, giving them tools to work with. And I know because I couldn't read and write, giving them tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
First, you got to let them know, you know, what they got to do to better themselves, to love themselves, which a lot of them do love themselves, but they be put in situations that, you know.
Well, plug the documentary that is basically brand new. It's out on Amazon Prime right now. Where can they find it?
You can find it on OG Network too.
Yeah, on OG Network. Okay.
And Prime.
Okay, cool.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, we have the producers sitting in the studio with us. So
Frazier
they were
and his wife, my sister. I call her my sister, but that's his wife, Frazier.
And I'm your what, nephew?
Yeah,
Cousin?
He's my nephew, Johnny.
That's
you
what's
know
up.
what I mean?
So, but
nephew Carl, I don't know your name.
John.
John. God damn, John.
Yeah.
All right, brother Rudy here, you know.
So they would appreciate a shout out, and we're going to put a link to all that. We're going to advertise all of it. But what's the name of it? Where can they find it?
Marlo, you can find documentary Marlo on Prime, Amazon Prime, and OG Network. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. I don't hold shit back, as you can see, man. I like speaking the truth, speaking my mind. I don't like putting people down. I'm not going to do that. I don't like telling other people's stories, where we come from. They can tell their own stories. They can get their own money. They can get their own podcasts. They do what they want to do. Write their own books and anything else, you know. I don't want to take nobody else's glory.
Last question. Are you going to watch The Wire? I think you should.
Yeah, but see, what
I
it
think
is.
you'd enjoy it.
See, I've seen pieces of it, you know, pieces.
Yeah.
And I hear stories about it. You dig what I'm saying? And I was under the impression that he killed a guy for two BB suckers. See, I used to eat BB suckers and shit. I eat
little dum-dums. In season 4, I think
y'all
Marlo.
call them dum-dums. I used to call them BBs. You used to call them BBs back in the day. But yeah, that's...
Did that f you up? Like in 2000, I think his character was introduced in like 2003 or 4 or something. Did that f you up when somebody came to you like on the yard or whatever and say, you're not going to believe this? There's a show out there in the world.
I know my buddy...
About you.
What's his name? Petty. A dude named Petty took and said, Marlo, man, you different than everybody else. Why are you shaking their hands and shit? They nobody. I said, don't you never say that, man. They somebody to me. I don't care about that shit, man. Who they on drugs or something. They friends of mine, man. Don't say that no more. You know, I got mad about that shit.
But did it raise your status? Like, were you kind of a celebrity in the Maryland prison system?
No,
after that show came out?
I was well respected, like I was well respected on the street when I was young. Yeah. I mean, it's the type of person I am.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So me being happy, glorified, you know, a lot of people say they Marlo Stanfield and all that. Man, once you get on the internet and tell them they ain't Marlo Stanfield, you Marlo Stanfield. I say, man, I know who I am, so I don't got to prove to nobody. If they want to be Marlo Stanfield, they can be Marlo Stanfield. I wish they would have been Marlo Stanfield 40 years ago in that goddamn courtroom. You know what I mean? I say that's a matter of respect, man. That's honor to be me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I don't get mad at my people about that. want to be me and all that shit. I just say be careful. Don't try that shit that I did, you know what I mean, years ago. You know, everybody ain't Marlo Stanfield.
I don't think there'll ever be another person like you.
Yeah.
Marlo, you are as Baltimore as it comes, man. That was an honor. I appreciate it. You guys, go check out Marlo. It's you can't forget it. Marlo on Amazon Prime and OG Network. Okay, you must have a piece of that. That must be some new shit.
OG Network?
Yeah, that must be a startup.
Ice-T.
Oh, is that Ice-T's network?
Yeah, him and what's his other buddy name, Rudy? Big Court. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But see, something about Ice-T, right?
Mm-hmm.
Years ago when he was acting and all that shit, I said I'm gonna meet him one day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I said that. I said I was gonna meet Oprah one day, Denzel Washington one day, and Halle Berry.
Keep putting it out there, man.
Yeah.
Keep putting it out there. Marlo.
And what's up? Floyd Mayweather, gotta talk to you, my brother. You know what I mean? Big respect. You're my number one. You dig what I'm saying? And I'll cheering you on ever since. Still is, man. Keep strong, brother. And Tank, little Tank, it's my little nephew. Good little dude.
Marlo Stanfield, the one and only Marlo Stanfield, right here on The Connect. Go check out Marlo on Amazon Prime and OG Network. Wow, I could do this all day, man. This was a real honor. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.